And we are in game number 1 of the final series of the day. Sitaux playing with Mayans. We'll get first off. There we are. He's going to get first off 1 extra villager upon starting the game. 50 less food though, compared to other civilizations. And then on top of that, for Mayans, we get 15% longer lasting resources. As well as 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the feudal castle and imperial ages. While for the team bonus, well, Sitau's gonna have a discount on walls as well, which might come in quite handy over here because the map is very open in front. Didn't somebody say that MbL might not be able to make it anyway because of work? Yes. This qualifier has a decent prize pool though, so why not participate? Yeah, this qualifier and the main qualifier, right? And then there's also the fact that if you do well in the main event of the Grand Melee, you might get a good chunk of change as well. Do you know how much MbL makes, you know, at his job? But I would imagine it's probably not quite as much in those few days compared to what he could make potentially from the Grand Melee. We'll see though. Regardless, for MbL civilization over here, he's playing with Franks, which means he gets 20% extra HP on cavalry units starting in the feudal age, as well as 25% cheaper castles. A 15% faster working foragers, and a 25% discount on castles. Free farm upgrades will be the final one for MbL. While for the team bonus, they get 2 extra line of sight on Nightline units. This might be good though. Sitau's trying to polyblock the villager, and he's going to do it. And one more hit, and he got the villager. That's gonna be first blood, and Sitau's looking great. For game number 1, he's opening this one with the first kill. MbL's got a bunch of idle villagers, or not idle villagers, a bunch of weak villagers over here in any case. So Sitau's looking great, guys. With the 1 extra villager he begins with, the extra villager that he was able to take down from MbL, he manages to put himself 2 villages ahead from the red player. It's gonna be on his way to the field age very soon. So we talked about civilizations already. Let's go and take a look at the map generation really quickly. And before I do that though, let's enable predictions for the next 5 minutes. You'll be able to predict who you think wins game number 1. Option 1 is going to be Sitaux. Option 1 is going to be MbL. All right. There we go. 5 minutes. You can use your channel points to get the predictions going. And meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Starting with the bull player, he's got the main goal on the back, which is fantastic. Secondary golds though are around front of his base, very, very exposed. For the stone, on the other hand, we have the main 1-4, and the secondary one is so far away though, on the right hand side over here. And MbL lame the board. Let's take a look. Let's actually go back a little bit. Yeah, that would explain why he didn't have the scout, right? Yeah. No. He took it. I think this is his. Oh no, he did lame. Okay, there we go. We were talking about the format for this tournament, with the 9 villager start actually kind of nerfing the possibility of laming, because you already began with enough villagers to go for the boards right away. However, MbL was still able to make it work, so it's not impossible. It's just going to be harder. You're going to have to send your scout forward right away, which is going to kind of put you at risk because you still have 2 herdables to scout, right? So your opponent could potentially scout those if you're not scouting properly and you're just going forward with your scout to try and get the raid, or to try and get the lane, sorry. So that was good for MbL, yes. But Sitaux ended up taking advantage of the absence of the scout to get a villager down from MbL. And he's not really going to be in a particularly precarious position or anything over here, so it's not too bad for Sitaux still. We took a look at the map generation from Sitaux. We didn't really take a look at MbL's map generation yet. there isn't too much to take a look at over here, as MbL has already taken the time to go for the walls for the most part. The main goal for him is forward, so it's not ideal, and it's actually going to become part of the walls. Meanwhile, he's already going for the walls over here, right? The rest of the resources are going to be safe. This one, the secondary golds are going to be super safe. They are to the side. Then the stone over here is going to be super safe. The wall lines here and here are going to be in a fantastic position for MbL. However, these walls are very, very hard to defend. Unless he sends some villagers over here and starts collecting from this gold, for instance, or this gold, he's not really going to have any villagers at hand to try and prevent Sitaux from just breaching through. So these are very, very expensive and kind of greedy walls, but they are going to be kind of weak. Still about 2 minutes left for you guys to predict who you think is going to win game number 1 of the series over here. Option 1, Sitaux. Option 2, MbL. So far, prediction seems to be pretty one-sided in favor of MbL. He's not going for Lumi yet. Oh boy. There's only one village ahead because of it. Oh! MbL, I think I actually might have been able to take the scout down over there.
Shot it.
Try to take advantage of the hill, and Sitaux realized. Then take the bait. Oh, what's going on with the house over here? Why is it not on fire? What? Is that the case in the game as well? Yeah, too late. I missed a decider in the Dot series. Was it the close game or rather one side one? I whisper to you. Still good pressure coming out for Sitaux. Yeah, and Castle is coming up now. For both these guys, MbL going up a little bit faster, but not a lot. Not a lot sooner. Extra barracks on the way now for MbL. Very interesting to see. He seems to be expecting just full Eagle play, and how not to, given the fact that Sitaux's got just Eagle Scouts to play with over here for the most part, right? So we're gonna see Lone Swords coming in. The Man-at-Arms upgrades over there, and Sitaux could technically still make a transition to Archers. That's going to come 20% cheaper for his civilization compared to other ones. And MbL could probably have made the play for Knights, which would counter both Eagles and Archers as well. But of course, would have been susceptible to conversions, would have been susceptible to pikes, right? So Men-at-Arms over here, potentially Lone Swords, are still going to be very good. But could also be countered by a few Archers. So just here, guys. The MbL's there a little bit sooner. Do we have any extra TCs coming up? He's got the stone. He does not have the wood. And while we take a look at Sitaux's point of view, he knows about the walls up the north.
Shot it.
Is he coming up now? For Sitaux, the second one. And MbL, not so much. I am kind of worried about MbL. If he's not going to make a play for economy over here, he's just going to get completely clapped by the Mayans. This matchup we saw so many times in the past, Franks versus Mayans, that is. And neither civilization really comes out on top necessarily. I think it's been pretty even for the most part. There we go. Here comes MbL. He's got the men-at-arms over there. Sitaux is realizing about it now. Notice that the bull player hasn't really gone for the Eagle Warrior upgrade.
Shot it. Ashike.
Here we go. Yeah, there's nothing that Sitaux can do about these units. And he doesn't seem to be particularly interesting in countering this by going for archers either. He's just going for the 3 TC approach. And MbL is now adding the second TC, so Sitaux should be in a much better position over here for economy very soon. And MbL seems like he's just gonna keep on going for more Lone Stars over here. He's just trying to bank on this to get his push going. Siege Workshop's coming up right now as well. Hey Daniela, it's going well. It's going well. I hope everything's going alright for you as well. If I recall correctly, Eagle Warrior upgrade only helps against crossbows. Yeah. What I'm trying to, well, it's not only against crossbows. Eagle Warriors are significantly stronger as well for raiding because they endure the TC fire so much better. So you can also raid underneath the TC, even if it's garrison, and still get some villages down. Kind of like if they were knights, right? But the reason I was saying that he was not going for the Eagle Warrior upgrade was to say that he was not committing to the unit. He was not committing to the Eagle push. And that was very smart for him, because if he had gone for the Eagle Warrior upgrade, that would have been wasted resources. One day, but it's getting better now, chilling with such good streams. Sounds good. What are you watching? Here come the Lone Swords. And here come the Magnals. Meanwhile, Sitaux managed to get a defensive siege workshop, so he's got his own Magnal coming up actually, and that is really good. Hey Rosa, welcome back as well. Hope you guys are doing alright. I think a lot of people might be away watching the World Cup. I'm going to just take a look at the highlights afterwards. There's a lot of work to do. These games need to be ready for YouTube as well very soon, so I need to work on that after the stream is over anyway. And here come the Lone Swords. MbL starts to put a lot of pressure. Might be able to get the barracks down over here. Yes, he will. The man over there from MbL is going to prevent Sitaux from repairing this. I should. Portugal is playing today, but I prefer H. Yeah, I'm not keen on football myself, but it's the World Cup, you know. It's only once every 4 years, and Argentina is a very football-oriented country, so you can't help but kind of get into it just for the duration of the World Cup. Here come the Eagle Scouts, though. They're gonna be able to take one of the Magnals down. Not quite, and the Lone Stars are completely shredding the units down to smithereens. Only one Magnal that goes down over there, but a lot of Eagle Scouts crumble in the process. Still, Sitaux is looking great. He's got a much stronger worker count right now. 18 extra workers. 19 extra workers at this point in time. And while he might be behind in military count, he's got what he needs to hold on against this just fine. He's got monks. Should be able to convert a few of the Lone Stars over here. Of course, Mayans do not get redemption. But still. Should be able to hold on over here just fine. In any case, he can also go for his own defensive Magnals and just play full defense over here, and he should be fine. Meanwhile, MbL is trying to find a different angle. The castle over here, the siege workshop over here make it very difficult for MbL to push on the right hand side, so now he's trying to push from the left instead. Pretty good trades for MbL earlier, yes. Now Sitaux. Sitaux's gonna play full defense by the looks of it. There we go. Yeah, this is good. So long as Sitaux doesn't lose a Magnal over there, he's gonna be fine. All that he needs really is the threat of taking the Magnus down from MbL to prevent the red player from just freely pushing over here. To keep MbL on his toes, basically. Now we have some plume archers coming out then. Sitaux. He's just trying to go for a forward castle. And this is a beautiful castle location. Remember, we said earlier, MbL's main goal is forward and expose. And then he's got the secondary goals on the left-hand side he's collecting from. But if he ends up running out of these ones, and does not manage to secure this one, then that's going to put Sitaux in a much better position. By the way, 1-for-1 trade over here, by the looks of it. Sitaux ended up losing the mana while still taking one of the manas down from MbL as well, so it's not too bad. He needs to go for more. Either that, or he needs to make the Plume Archer play over here work. He's got a good amount. 13 Plume Archers might be enough for him to actually take all of these units down. He's just got to be careful. So far, so good. MbL will be the first player going up to the Imperial Age. Sitaux still definitely looking very strong. And take a look at this. Now, we're gonna see what I was talking about earlier today come to play. If Sitaux goes over and tries to destroy these walls, tries to destroy these walls, the villagers from MbL, they are too far away to react on time. That is why usually when you see the walls coming up like this, very, very big, greedy walls, you want to use houses for the farther ones. So here comes Sitaux. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even need to go after those walls. He's going to, in the end, he's going to be coming up, and MbL is going up to the Imperial Age. And let's take a look. There is a defensive magnet coming up for Sitaux. Should be able to defend himself fine here. MbL's gotta pay attention up in the north, which means that he might not be paying attention over there. That is a very good reaction though from MbL. Beautiful! He takes him out of the jaw, so now Sitaux is against 3 mangoes. Probably is going to end up losing the TC here. But up in the north, he's managed to come in. No chance for MbL's villagers to get here on time to try and replenish, or actually try to reinforce the walls. And here comes Sitaux. The Plume Archers. Eagle Scout, he's stealing the relic. Yeah, and the CC is going down in the end. Sitaux still has a much stronger economy, and he's going to be on his way to the Imperial Age in a moment, so it's not too bad. The problem for MbL is he doesn't really have the resources to go for a castle, so he's going to go for trebuchets once he gets to the Imperial Age, which means it's going to be delayed to siege, right? He needs to get chemistry first, and then go for the bombard cannons. Meanwhile, Sitaux, the moment he gets to the Imperial Age, he's already going to be able to start pumping trebs from the right-hand side castle. It's going to be just fine. Nice shots from MbL. And the TC crumbles. Hold on. Meanwhile, with Sitaux bringing the Plume Archers over here, it's got to be careful. Good shot over there. Good shot. See one of the manas going down. Plume Archers over here. They have the mobility, and Sitau's risking losing a lot of units over here. And good reactions though. Well played. Doesn't take a single loss and ends up taking a few of the lone stores over there. Well played. As MbL managed to get a castle up back home, he's gonna have a trebuchet on the way. Meanwhile, Sitaux is on the way to the Imperial Age, and he's gonna go for yet another castle forward. So he'll be able to outproduce MbL for trebuchets. And that is beautiful. Oh, the reaction from Sitaux though! That was so good. MbL was probably expecting to get a very nasty shot over there, and while in the end he does end up taking some of the Plume Archers over here, Sitaux is finally successfully defending himself against this, and he'll take the lone stores down easy. He's going to take some of the lone stores over here with the monks even, and he completely stabilizes back home. He defends himself successfully. Right hand side. Well, we're still waiting for the Imperial Age for Sitaux. He's only about 5 seconds away from it, and MbL gets the first trebuchet out. Meanwhile, Sitaux should be able to go for 2. From the castles over here, back to back. He's going for it. MbL. MbL's got some light cavalry over here. Seems like he's gonna play for that. Franks do not get Hussar. They do not get bloodlines, so the light cavalry are not anywhere near as strong as light cavalry would be for many other civilizations. Who would get Hussar? Who would get bloodlines? Still should be able to defend against this just fine. Quite honestly, even just plumed archers alone, I think, would suffice against light cavalry. Got some crumbles for Sitaux in the end. He might still end up taking the castle down over here from MbL though. We'll see. Doesn't seem to be interested in targeting it yet. Oh, he's going to the hill. This is actually a big brain move here from Sitaux. Take a look at the range of these guys. I'm not really sure though if he'll be able to range the castle from the hill. Oh, just barely. Just barely. Alright. Under the castle on the way for MbL. Meanwhile, Sitaux. Sitaux's not going for any extra trebuchets, just gonna try to take these down. Big shots over there, 3 mangonels. A bombard cannon for MbL. Sitaux's gotta respect it, and he will, for the most part. He's taking his sweet time to go for all the upgrades he needs. Chainmail armor is going to make the eagle stronger. The pikeman stronger. He's going for the pikeman upgrade, as well as chemistry and thumb ring for the plumed archers. Meanwhile, MbL's going for onager. And this could be good. This could be good, but it's a very pricey upgrade. And if you're unable to get any damage down with the onagers in the end, then there is no guarantee that you're going to be able to get some good damage down against plumed archers. It might end up just being kind of a waste of resources. Let's take a look. Here come the light cavalry. We see the onagers over here. Bombard cannon's coming over as well from MbL. He's got a trifecta here. Coming over, trying to target the trebuchets already with the bombard cannon. We're gonna see the onagers coming there against the plumed archers. And out of an abundance of cautiousness, Sitaux pulls the plumed archer away, which means the trebuchets end up going down. And now he needs a castle on the hill just to provide protection to the trebuchets. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Sitaux ends up losing the forward castle that he had. This is going to leave him on 2 castles. This is the 4th total that he goes for, and MbL's on 2. Still, population stronger for Sitaux. Economy is stronger for Sitaux. Military count stronger for Sitaux. It's just struggling to make anything happen against a vast amount of siege. The punching power of MbL's units. And the goal situation is a little bit out of hand for Sitaux. It's to balance his economy. Here come the plumed archers, guys. The halberdier coming over to provide protection against light cavalry. We'll see one of the trebuchets going down. Yes, sir. Still 3 trebuchets over here. And Sitaux is not able to get a single trebuchet out of this one. And there we are. Yeah, MbL is pushing Sitaux back. Sitaux is kind of struggling for house and space right now. And Cannoneer coming over right now for MbL as well. Nice shot. Yeah, good onager control over there from MbL as well. Does end up losing one, and that is the big one though. That is a pretty decent shot for the red player. Meanwhile, blue still in a good amount of plumed archers over here. He's got to be careful. He's got the hill to potentially take advantage of, for sure. But he's got to be careful still. And here come the eagles. This time around, though, we do have eagle warriors. These are not elite just yet. And the unit control for MbL has been fantastic. He's been able to take the pikemen down. He's been able to take the eagle warriors down. With onagers. Beautiful. Cast comes up now for MbL. Yeah, Sitau's waiting. He's gonna get the 200 population in a moment. Won't be able to keep on going for anything more after that, so he's gonna have to push. And MbL, well, MbL is going for more hand cannoneers. Struggling, of course. His economy is not quite as strong. Goes on upgrades here for Sitaux. Okay. Well, yeah, he's got just the one castle, right? Sticking the boom launchers alone is not going to be quite as good. Big shot, though, on the hub of here. And we'll see the onagers coming over here. Eagle Warriors on the way. And the hand cannoneer should be able to take care of these. And they will. We have throwing axemen. In addition to the hand cannoneer for MbL. Higher score for the red player, and Sitau's been unable to push for the most part. Arbalest is coming up now for Sitaux, yes. Kinda needs it, only has 2 castles, cannot really keep on producing too many plume launchers. These are not even elite though, so it's gotta be careful over there. In the onagers, man, there is always the potential for a big shot! And that is not it! MbL still retains 3 out of 4 onagers he went for over there. He's got 3 trebuchets over here as well on the way. Sitaux starts to make finally the play for Arbalest. He's got a good amount of these units coming out. He's gonna be on 200 population very soon. Meanwhile, MbL struggles still a little bit. Big shot! There we go! Arbalest is going down to the onager. Without really taking the onager down at all, or too much HP off it, to be honest. Down south, MbL is coming in with the light cavalry. He's gonna try to get the raids going. The castle's here to provide protection for Sitaux. Still at the center, we see the onager still providing some pressure from MbL against the bull player. Left hand side, trebuchets. What am I talking about? Trebuchets over here. No onagers or anything are coming out of the siege workshop, so it doesn't seem like MbL is going to make use of it anymore. Sitau's own onagers. Who needs onagers? But yeah, certainly the eagle play has not worked out over here at all. Playing for onagers over here for Sitaux will be pretty rough because of the prospect for bombard cannons for MbL. There we go. Here comes... Oh! The shot! From MbL, taking above 50% of the army of Sitaux with a single volley over there. And we were waiting for this moment for the last 15 minutes or so. Big one, big power over there, and that is more units going down, and Sitaux is completely dead. Going down from close to 200 population down to 116. Well, MbL, my man, ended up getting with a single big volley. An incredible lead in the game. And it was bound to happen at some point. It was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Now, there's no way for Sitaux to hold on against MbL's push over here. We have triple trebuchet push from MbL. He's got the onager still alive, right? The hand cannoneer. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah. How do you put a stop to MbL's push? I don't think you can. With the units that Sitau's been going for, you can't. He's going for Elite Eagle Warriors right now. What is he going to do with that? I don't think he's gone for El Dorado at all. So these are not anywhere near as strong as they could be. And yeah, against hand cannoneers, obviously not really going to work out. So Sitau's trying to get the castle up over here just to keep on defending over here, but doesn't seem to have anywhere near enough resources to go for something like El Dorado. Yeah, once again, the oranges over here make it impossible for Sitaux to approach MbL's army. And good unit control so far. The red players being able to prevent the oranges from getting approached by the eagles, right? Yeah, and that's another good shot. And it's over, guys. Less than 100 population, Sitaux knows it. He goes on to call the GG, and MbL will be the one to take game number 1 over here to get the lead. And let me just go back, because that big shot was absolutely crucial. Earlier, around here, you can still see the bodies over there. And yeah, let's go back a little bit more, and probably around here, right? Let's go 0.5x. Check this out. Here comes Sitau's army. 27 elite. Oh, full archers. Going down to 6. Are these actually elite? These are not even elite. Yeah, man, that is 21 units going down from a single shot. Well played. From this point onwards, it was just downhill, of course, for Sitaux, so well played. MbL moves on then to game number 2 with a lead, with the game already under his belt. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. What do we get? Stronger military for MbL, better KD, better than 5-2, actually, for economy, a stronger economy as well, collecting about 3,000 and close to 200 extra resources. Society, very strong over here for MbL as well. We'll play the overall. Let's go back. There we go. Weird choice to bet on out micro in 2k5 player who doesn't need too much micro, being 2k3, needing to micro perfectly lose. Yeah, let's play the predictions from the previous game, and let's enable predictions for game number 2. Same options, different question this time around. Who wins game number 2? Option 1, Sitaux. Option 2, MbL. You got the next 5 minutes to get your predictions going. I'm curious, would South Americans cheer for Spain/Portugal in the World Cup, or the opposite? Probably not. Well, South Americans would probably cheer for whoever is fighting against took them out. No matter who that is. But it's more of the enemy of your enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, more so than an act of selfless support for another team. Regardless, let's take a look at the civilizations and the map over here. So we have Chinese for Sitaux. Now, I wouldn't be expecting this particular matchup over here for this map from the civilizations we saw earlier. But yeah, Chinese can still be very strong. For Sitau's civilization, he begins with 3 extra villagers. He's going to begin with less food, however, and then on top of that, he gets 5 extra line of sight on TCs and 5 higher population support per TC. Besides that, we also see for Sitau's civilization 10, 15, and 20% cheaper upgrades in the Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, and for the team bonus, they're gonna get 10% extra food on farms. MbL playing with Gujaras instead will get the ability to garrison herdables inside the mill. It's going to begin with 2 additional berry bushes underneath the TC. And they get 40% extra bonus damage on mounted units. Well, for the team bonus, they train elephant and camel type units 25% faster. So this is a matchup that I talked about at the beginning of the series before we jump into game number 1, where I think as strong as the Chinese are, the extra villages are basically the only advantage that they're going to get against MbL civilization, right? Because the Gujaras, they get, with extra bonus damage, stronger camels, faster trading camels, we have for Gujaras also Sri Vamsha Riders, which would counter ranged units if MbL... Sorry, if Sitaux was not going for melee cavalry and he decided to go for like, you know, crossbows or whatever, it'll be better for Gujaras just go for a few Sri Vamsha Riders over there, and then Sitaux will be in a pretty precarious position, I would say. Down south. Yeah, we'll see the FLH coming out for Sitaux. Just a little bit faster compared to MbL, just by 1 second though, so it's not going to make much of a difference. And on this map, you are usually expecting to see scouts. However, we have seen already in the past, players just try to make a play for full archers instead. And right now, we see that Sitaux is going for the gold, so he's going to go for archers. Very soon we're going to see the barracks come up. He needs to go for it before he gets to 60% of his way to the FLH if he wants to build it with a single villager. Okay, he's going to need two. And MbL on the other hand, he's got the barracks already on the way, and he seems to be timing this one a little bit better. Yeah. He's going to get the barracks up, no problem. Nice. Still getting some vision around MbL's economy. And he's getting to the FLH. There he goes. Gonna try to go after the villager. And you know what? The villager does not have loom. Now the scout is trapped over here, but still no loom. For MbL. Ends up losing a villager over there, and that is fantastic for Sitaux. But then again, he was also the player to open the previous game with a nice kill against MbL, and it didn't seem to matter too much. Range is on the way for Sitaux as expected, and then we're gonna see a stable coming up for MbL. He's not collecting any gold, so it makes sense for sure. It's gonna be scouts for the Gujarats. It's gonna be archers for the Chinese. In the FLH, the interaction is going to be a lot more normal, of course. It's only in the Castle Age onwards, once the Gujarats get access to Sri Vamsha Riders, that archers become a little bit of a no-go for any civilization against Gujarats. Here we are. Beautiful. So the scouts are on the way already for MbL. Meanwhile, Sitaux is going to be the first one to start putting pressure over here so far. KD is favoring Sitaux a little bit. And archer range is coming up right now for MbL to try and hold on against Sitaux. Sitaux could have tried to use the archers over there to push the villagers away, but he was not going to deny this one. He was going right after the wool line over here in hopes of finding an exposed economy, but there is nothing over there. MbL's done a really good job. His reaction was great. Now he's pulling the villagers over the left-hand side, where he's going for a preempted tower, so he doesn't need to worry about the archers too much, and probably won't. Down south, MbL's got his own push going, but hasn't really been able to do too much. Here we go. Yeah, MbL is unable to achieve much of anything over here, so for the most part it's going to be pretty uneventful. As the walls are already up for Sitaux, MbL, simply put, does not have anywhere to try and raid over here because Sitau's already taken the time. Oh, we have some exposed villages over here. That'd be a nice spot for MbL to go to. And we have some exposed villages over here as well for Sitaux to potentially fight against. We'll see though. skirmishers should be able to counter both archers and spearmen, so MbL does end up pushing Sitaux away. Yeah, back home, Sitaux is, yeah, going to end up taking MbL down for the most part. There's only one scout over here, so even if you wanted to play against the villagers over there, the villagers will simply defend themselves against the scout. At this point, MbL is just getting vision around Sitau's base, and Sitaux, yeah, probably just getting vision around MbL's base. So, the Castle Age is gonna be on the way for both these guys in a moment. They are playing for it. Quite clearly, there is very little opportunity to get any damage done in the Fuel Age. So Sitau's trying to save the resources. He did still keep on going for archers because of the unit being very cheap. If he manages to mass enough, he might still be able to get something done, but it's unlikely that it's going to be too much, right? MbL is paying attention everywhere, and he's bringing the skirmishers on the left-hand side. And check this game sense, by the way. Did you see that? MbL was going the direction of Sitau's units, even though he had no vision of it. He might have been able to spot it with a scout earlier, though. There we go. It's open over here. Yes, it is. So Sitaux, can he get the villager if he blocks her? Perhaps. No. Good unit control for MbL. Down the south. Oh, the skirmishers are coming over from MbL, but that is actually good for Sitaux because the skirmishers over here are not going to do much of anything from MbL. Scouts will, though. Yeah, so we see one village going down. Yes, sir. 1-1 KD. Eco KD. And another one. He got it. Another villager. Now, I was saying this is actually good for Sitaux because then he can make use of his archers. Basically uncontested. We have no defense over here for MbL. It's got 2 skirmishers. You should be able to take care of 2 skirmishers. And there's so much exposed economy over here. We'll see if he... Yeah, he's gonna try. He's coming forward again. He is going out to the Castle Age, though, so it'll be wise for him to just try and keep these units kind of hidden. Keep this stealth, so that once he gets to the Castle Age, he's got something to upgrade the crossbows without risking losing many of those units to the skirmishers still. And MbL doesn't seem like he's gonna be on his way to the Castle Age just yet. But he's getting there. He's gonna be there very soon. Overall, Sitau's been able to take advantage of the extra villagers he started with to stay somewhat ahead still. I think by the time MbL gets to the Castle Age and both players resume villager production, Sitaux should still be about 1 worker ahead. Probably 2 if MbL keeps on idle in the TC. There we go. Castle Age is on the way for the red player. And here come the archers, here come the scouts, forcing markets, houses and whatnot from MbL behind the palisades. Very expensive wall reinforcement over there from MbL. Meanwhile, Sitaux, back home, he's got the spearmen, he's got the archers. MbL was just trying to get that engagement over here and reduce the archers before they become crossbows, right? But he's got just skirmishers to work with here. So Sitaux is not really going to take any engagements he doesn't want to take. If he won't, could potentially make a play with the villagers over here. And yeah, it seems like it's not even going to be necessary. 1 knight's coming out for Sitaux, and that's going to be enough to clean out the majority of the skirmishers over there. With the crossbow upgrade, blocking our upgrades over here, Sitaux. He's got a bunch of crosses forward to fight with against MbL. Beautiful. Those crosses are going to the base of the tower, and MbL's trying to bail out of here. He will still end up losing a few villagers though. 1, 2, go down. Yes, sir. And the crosses are still alive. We have 4 over here. Very low HP. Still good enough to take villages down for sure, especially with the heal advantage over here. Sitaux's going down to only 3 crossbows. And MbL's been able to defend himself really well. Fantastic. The Shrivansh Riders indeed went out taking the crosses down. So MbL has stabilized. He's got the second TC on the way. Sitaux already has the second TC up. Yeah. We have Knight over here. Still's gonna try and take the tower down. Well, MbL's got the Shrivansh Riders, but how many Knights do we have over here? Just 2 Knights. That is not enough. MbL is going to clean this up easily. He was trying to bait Sitaux into committing to the tower over there by just approaching him with his own units once the tower was too low HP. But it's not going to make too much of a difference in the end. Sitaux recognizes it. Not of an abundance of cautiousness, he removes his units from the tower. And MbL is just gonna keep on playing defensively over here. The third disease on the way for Sitaux, and we saw something like this in the previous game as well, where the blue player would be the one to play for economy and get ahead, but still struggle to do anything to shut MbL down, and MbL would have enough time to make a play for the late game and put himself in a better position in the end against the Frenchman. We'll see if that ends up being the case in game number 2 as well. Once again, in my opinion, I think the Chinese are as versatile as they are, and as good of a civilization as they are, going to struggle against the Gujaras. And MbL stabilizes in the end, yes. That was good while it lasted. Yeah. Here come the Shrivansh Riders though. It doesn't seem to be necessary for MbL to wait for the late game over here. It's gonna start doing damage right now. Manages to get a few villagers down over here, and he could potentially make a play for camels too. You know, they're going to be stronger compared to Sitaux's. But the Shrivansh Riders, they are a little bit more resilient against DC fire, so it makes sense. And he was able to get some of the villagers down. So now, it is the red player who is ahead in work count, despite Sitaux being on 3 seasons earlier. 30 is coming out right now for MbL as well, and the counter push is coming out for Sitaux. There is so much over here to keep up with if you're in the player's position. 30C coming up, MbL is going to have to manage a triple TC economy and still put pressure, try to defend himself whenever Sitaux is the one trying to put pressure, and ditto for Sitaux as well. And so far, while being able to keep less than 3 minutes of idle TC time, given the amount of TCs we have for both these guys, is nothing short of amazing. Always mesmerizing to see this level of gameplay. The villager crumbles for MbL, so far 1-1 equal KD. Oh, and it's open! It's open up the north! So here come the crossbows, taking the villagers down, the camels over there, taking the villagers down as well, MbL. He's got no extra units coming out other than monks. Only 1 camel and 6 Shrivansh Riders, which will now work against the army from Sitaux. So the camels certainly seem to be a good option for the red player for sure. Well, you know what? Sitaux's looking much stronger over here. Let's take a look at gather economy time. He's ahead by a full hour and 10 minutes. Sitaux should be ahead by, or should have been able to collect about 1,000 extra resources so far, and it makes sense. Right now, they have the same amount of resources currently, but Sitaux's got significantly more units. Got about 20 more units, so that's where the extra resources went to. Chain bar and armor is coming up as well, so he's got better upgrades even. Husbandry. And for economy, economy is looking somewhat even. Bolso for both these guys. We have heavy plow for MbL, but no wheelbarrow. Meanwhile, Sitau's got wheelbarrow and no bolso. The player will be the first one to click up to the Imperial Age. He's starting to get very close in terms of resources and MbL. MbL not so much. He hasn't really gotten quite as much time of tranquility back home. Let's put it that way. So it's kind of difficult for him to really get enough resources to go up in Sitaux. Sitaux should be on his way. And there we go. Imperial Age is on the way for the blue player. MbL, instead, is so far away from going out to the Imperial Age. And it's going to be more so the case now that he spent the resources to go for extra upgrades. Wheelbarrow is great. Scale bar and armor is good. Bloodlines is fantastic. And forging is good as well. But this is only good if he's actually able to make use of the units, if he's actually able to put those upgrades to work. So he's coming forward. He's getting one villager down already. Still is bringing the majority of his own units back to try and defend against this. And MbL. Well, MbL is not going to care about the TC. We know this. But still roams around. He is being chased. So he knows he cannot really stay one place for too long. Like a fugitive. Beautiful, one villager goes down. But you see, the army from Sitaux catches up almost immediately, so MbL gets pushed back. Just a moment ago, the red player was looking like he had close to enough resources to click up, then he started going for extra upgrades and extra units. And Sitaux still looking stronger for military, is gonna be in the Imperial Age in only about 30 seconds. For castle, for the blue player. MbL must know what's going on, and this is just a desperation move. Might very well be the case. If he tried to go up to the Imperial Age with this pressure from Sitaux, it'll be kind of suicidal, so it doesn't seem like he's got too many choices. Yeah. He's defending for the time being, and Sitau's gotta respect this. He's gotta respect it. 40% extra bonus damage for MbL's units over here, plus the monster coming over here. This could be really good for the red player. Let's take a look. We're gonna see the surround coming out with the camels from MbL trying to get behind the archers over there, and the conversions connecting. And in the end, it seems that camels from Sitaux will get cleaned up for the most part, but the camels are still not the strongest unit against archer units, right? So yeah, check this out. The camels will end up getting cleaned up from MbL eventually. We see extra camels coming in from Sitaux, and Sitaux needs to go for plate bar and armor. And right now he's going for heavy camel rider as well. Beautiful. He's gonna keep on trying to get the castle up over here. There we go. Needs to bring the crossbows over. This doesn't work without the crossbows. Camels alone are not going to cut it. At the very least, not until he gets the upgrade. He's got it now. He's got it. He's got it, and the castle's going up. The defense from MbL allowed him to get a hidden working count compared to Sitaux, but the castle's coming up anyway. And now with heavy camel rider against standard camels, plus some crosses over here from Sitaux to boot as well. Not only is the castle guaranteed to come up, but now Sitaux is in a position to start putting a lot more pressure. We could see a trebuchet or conscription. Conscription will actually be very good, but he's going for the trebuchet first. And with this, he can start stripping MbL away from his defenses. Well, the red player's got the food to go up to the Imperial Age, not enough gold just yet, and he's gonna start going for extra stables. The game's not over for sure, but it's looking very darn good for Sitaux so far. There we go. Yeah, MbL is going to just call the GG over here. With the trebuchet out, he cannot really keep on defending himself against Sitaux, and Sitaux is going to end up taking game number 2 to equalize the series here. And game 3 will then not be a match point, instead it's going to be a tiebreaker. Let's go through the achievements as usual. And what do we get? We get a better KD for Sitaux. In the end, it's going to be about 9 to 8 for the economy. A stronger economy for Sitaux, just by about 42 extra resources though, so a very small lead. Especially considering the extra villages he began with as well. You take a look at society over here, and the bull player should have been better for longer, right? And he was, but was only able to collect about 40 extra resources, interestingly enough. So MbL's push and pressure certainly helped him stay somewhat competitive in resources this game. Well played. Turks versus Poles, actually. Okay. For MbL and Sitaux. Poles for Sitaux. Alright. Okay. For the bull player up in the north, Sitaux is gonna be making use of Poles, which means he's gonna get 5, 10, 15, 20 HP regeneration on villagers per minute in Darkfield Castle and Imperial Ages. Besides that, we also see for the civilization 0.5 units of gold per unit of stone that they mine. Access to the Folwark as well, building. And then for the team bonus, we're gonna see Poles get 1 bonus damage from Scoutland units against Archer type units. Predictions for game number 3 are on as well. Sitaux is going to remain option 1, MbL is going to remain option 2. You have 5 minutes to get the predictions going. Hey, Diana Masquerade! First trimester? Yes, sir! Yes, sir. Thanks so much for the support. Appreciate it. Hope everything's going alright for you. We were just talking about Sitaux Civ. MbL, on the other hand, playing with Turks, is going to have a myriad of different bonuses. From faster working gold miners to free like cavalry hussar upgrades as well, which will make map control a little bit smoother in the Castle Age. We also get, for MbL Civilization, free chemistry, a 50% discount on gunpowder upgrades, sorry. In addition to that, they also get 25% extra HP on gunpowder units, and for the team bonus is going to give them 25% faster training gunpowder units. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Let's take a look at the map generation as usual, starting with the bull player up in the north. We're gonna see if Sitaux's resources are potentially exposed or not. We have a little bit of a scout engagement over here though, seems to be going exactly even. Oh, an MbL comes out on top. All right, okay. Now let me go back and take a look at something over here really quickly. There was a theory that whoever, okay, let's see, engaged the last got the better trade. And well, that would seem to support what happened over here for sure. MbL was the one to send the attack command last between the two. Still about 2.5 minutes left for the predictions. Option 1 Sitaux, option 2 MbL. And let's take a look at the map generations then. Starting with the bull player, we're gonna see that the main goal is on the back, which is absolutely fantastic. As for the rest of the resources, we have the secondary goal on the back, which is very, very good for him as well. And then we have the other secondary goal outside the walls. This is to be expected. The secondary stone is going to be outside the wall as well. And then the main stone is going to be inside the walls. But this is very close to the walls, which means that a scout from the castle age, scouting alongside the walls over here, is going to get vision of this already. But even if we saw that be the case and Sitaux tried to go forward and tried to drop a castle himself, probably somewhere around here, he would only be able to deny 1 stone and 1 gold. But then we still have this for the bull player, right? We have this over here, this over here, this over here. We have 3 extra resources available just fine. This one might not be the most accessible, of course, because it's outside the walls, but this one is going to be just fine. This one's going to be just fine, the gold for the most part, and that's great. Taking a look at the map generation for MbL, on the other hand, we're going to see that the red players got the secondary goal on the back, and then we have the main gold forward. Hey, Harka Massive. Hi, welcome. Secondary goal outside the walls as well for MbL, the other one to be expected. And this goal is too far away from the walls to get spotted by scouts, even in the castle age. As for the stone, we have the main one on the left hand side. This one might be a little bit closer, right? And then the secondary stone actually is going to be outside. Now this stone, it is going to be close enough for the blue player to potentially spot it when scouting around this, right? Around the walls like this. If he does get vision of this, he could potentially be prompted to go, if he is the one to go for a castle drop, of course. For one over here, what he will be able to deny the stone in the gold. And just by chance, he might actually end up ranging, depending on where he goes, right? Like if the castle is a little bit further to the right, closer to the gate, trying to block the gate, for instance, he might actually end up denying this one as well. So there's a possibility of denying all 3 resources over there. The rest are going to be just safe for the bull player. What is the secret to scout turning back, attacking always first? Is it just stop move instead of attack move? No, it's whoever issues the attack command the last. I think that's what I got from what I understand, but I am not 100% sure actually, so you take it with a grain of salt. I read that somebody said that when you, like if you are being chased, right? If your opponent targets your unit and you're being chased and then you turn around and they start fighting at the same time, your scout is going to come out on top. And then they said, oh, it seems like that's no longer the case. But from the times that I have seen it, it has been the case. It might just be that we just happen to stumble upon, you know, the scenarios in which that actually works out, but may not be the case. I'm not 100% sure. Guess it's gonna be here very soon for both these guys, and even though MbL ended up getting the better trade early on, Sitaux is actually going to start going for his own scouts over here, and MbL went for a market and a blacksmith over here, so does not seem to be particularly interested in getting map control. Just going to go for a castle instead. He's getting close. Not there quite yet. Monastery. And Sitaux is going to be the one, and you know, who's going to end up collecting the most of the relics over here, it seems. Yeah, I mean, Monastery coming out with 4 villages as well. Talk about trying to rush it. I like the graphic explanations. Nice. Always trying to improve the stream quality. To the extent I can't, anyway. To the extent I can, rather. Not can't. Fantastic now. TC's coming up on the back. For Sitaux. There we go. Yeah, very Okay, there we go. The third TC is coming up over here. I was going to say, very conservative over here to just go for the second TC. No third TCs whatsoever for Sitaux, but he is going for the third TC in MbL. And MbL's going for the castle, so we're gonna see full pressure coming out very soon. So far, Sitaux is the one who's gotten the most relics collected, and as a matter of fact, MbL's got a single monk inside the walls! And he's not doing much of anything over here. He's gonna try and get this. However, Sitaux realizes about this. The castle's there. Sitaux's reaction is good. And MbL's gotta be careful because Sitaux does not need to be high HP to take the monk down. However, he's gotta be careful. There's oh, the Janissary over there. Good unit control. And the monk goes down. Janissaries are going to start coming out over here. And that relic's most likely than not going in favor of MbL, yes. But he does not have enough control around to go and take the rest, right? So we have a... yeah, we have the monk collecting the first relic on the left-hand side. From Sitaux. He's already collected one on the right-hand side, so there are 3 left for grabs. Seems like the logic is when distance is 1 tile or less, the unit attacks. When distance is 1 tile or more, unit moves to 0 tile distance and attack after. So, turning back, scout seems hidden in a bigger distance than the chaser. I don't think so. I think you need to get to 0 tiles even if you're turning around. Hey! Arby's! Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a good one. Welcome you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Were you casting the Nomad Wars tournament? I saw that it was taking place. Appreciate it. Hey, Solly. Welcome you guys. I hope you're having a good time. 30C's coming out down the south as well. For Mr. MbL. He is significantly behind though, and worker count currently. In the end, MbL was able to secure the relic on the left-hand side. Now he's going to end up taking the relic on the right-hand side, so that's going to be 3 to 2. Still favoring though, Sitaux. No, was casting Andes of the Desert and cast the wrong set. Rip. Beautiful. Janissaries over here, they're so strong. They're getting to the choke point over here, and Sitaux cannot really take the engagement over there anymore, so long as MbL places cards right over here, should be able to still keep on roaming around and putting pressure. However, there's a castle coming up for Sitaux behind the walls. Should be able to defend himself against the Janissaries just fine. But MbL keeps on sending more and more units. Here we go. Yep. And MbL is definitely the one with the stronger military right now, but Sitaux's most likely not gonna be the first player being able to go up to the Imperial Age. And by the way, MbL might not be the player with the strongest military for much longer than this. So Sitaux's going for Schlachta privileges. That's going to provide a fantastic discount on Nightlight unit production. Here we go. Beautiful. Monastery is going down, so Sitaux ends up losing control of the relics he was able to get so far. This is something that we saw other players in the past try to mitigate by going for extra monasteries on the back and then just try to migrate the relics back. But it's not going to make too much of a difference. Sitaux is already ahead by 20 workers anyway, so it doesn't matter if he loses access to the relics over here. He'll be able to get these back in a moment. What we'll see still, and is not affected by that, is a crap ton of knights coming out. And check this out, Sitaux! He's got 6 tables to work with. Scale bar, the armor's coming up. He already managed to get bloodlines up. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Stack the privileges, right? Much, much cheaper units. Chain bar and armor coming up now as well. Petard on the way. Sitau's gonna try. Surrounding these units. He's going after the monks as MbL was trying to get away with a heist. He was taking 2 out of 3 relics. He might end up taking the next monk down. Not quite, so it seems like MbL is going to be the one. On 3 relics in the end, but let's take a look at this. Here comes the engagement, and here's what he wanted to go for. A full surround against the Janissaries, and he's going to do it! The Janissaries are still looking extremely strong over here, though, and the Knights struggle big time to get a proper surround over here. You see the trail of destruction over here. Fortunately for Sitaux, his units were not quite as expensive as standard Knights. And he'll still be able to clean this up, though. And MbL, well, MbL is going to fall behind in economy. As he's been already behind in economy for the longest part of the game. He's going to fall behind in military though. And Sitaux should be on his way to the Imperial Age. He's got the buildings and the resources, so off to the Imperial Age he goes. There we go. Sitau's gearing up to go for a forward castle as well. Well, that is not as aggressive as I thought it was going to be, especially with how much map control he's got right now, and the fact that he's going out to the Imperial Age so much earlier. Should be able to go for a little bit of a further forward castle. At the very least to try and prevent MbL from ever getting access to this gold, for instance, from ever getting access to this stone. And here come the Petards. MbL is not going to be able to do much of anything against it, so here come the Knights. Quick wall's coming up for MbL. He manages to get a single conversion over there. Meanwhile, the Knights are going to take down the monks. 4 relics actually for MbL. Well done. And he ends up trapping Sitau's units over here. That might have been a little bit too risky for the bull player, but once again, at the very least, the units are not quite as expensive. Now, that is not an excuse for Sitaux to just throw units into the grinder. But at the very least, he won't really have to pay that much to replenish his army compared to if he was just going for full price scouts, or actually knights, sorry. So there we go, very soon Sitau's gonna be in the Imperial Age as well. He's got the siege workshop over here, so he needs to go for chemistry. He's going to get access to bombard cannons actually earlier compared to MbL, plus there is the fact, of course, that Sitau's got the castle up as well, so he can go for trebuchets right away as well. If he can take the defenses over here, if he can take the castles down from MbL, then MbL is gonna be left to nothing. He would only be able to go for hand cannoneer bombard cannons, which is not anywhere near as strong, and the Knights are not going to struggle against quite as much. Check this out, the extra wall is coming up now for MbL. Yeah. And Sitaux is realizing about the extra walls over here. Let's see, unpacks the trebuchet. Well, chemistry is not coming up for Sitaux in any case, so he won't be going for it anyway. A Turk was doing Cavalry Archer Hussar, and it can kind of work versus everything that Poles have. a good amount of cavalry archers, perhaps, but it's pretty tricky because it's so cheap for Sitaux to go for the knights over here. Cavalier right now, right? That cavalry archers, as good as they are, they can still get eventually cleaned up. Especially with Sitaux's map control over here. MbL civilization is so gold reliant. If you want to go for cavalry archers, that would just chew through all his golds. Sitaux should be left in a much better position. Oh, 45 walls. MbL's got artillery coming up. Bombard cannons are on the way. But he's already lost one castle. He's got only one castle left over here, Sitaux. A little bit too risky over here though, in my opinion. Keeping the trebuchets up on the right hand side. If we take a look at this point of view, he knew about the siege workshops over there, so he's going to end up losing the trebuchets for sure. He cannot fight the bombard cannons from Turks with trebuchets. Simply can't. Yeah, there we go. Just take the trebuchets away and he's going to. Bombard tower for MbL! Has this turned into Black Forest all of a sudden? What? Beautiful. Yeah, you see? Now the trebuchets behind the castle, that puts him in a much better position, so he should be able to take this castle down. And this is not the first time that we see this kind of play with the players going for multiple layer walls on Arena. As a matter of fact, in the previous series, we saw a little bit of a bastion move, a very interesting move from one of the players on this map. And yeah, MbL's just going to... He's going to try and build an impenetrable force over here, an impenetrable defense for himself, which is obviously not going to give him the game. It's just going to make it significantly harder. It's going to make it significantly more time consuming. It's going to make it slower for Sitaux to keep on doing damage over here in any case. Here we are. Just finished the meeting and this is still going? Of course, Whistler. It's done very soon. It's gonna get Onager as well. He's got Winged Hussar now, too. I don't know if he's gone for Hidden Legacy yet. Let me take a look. He's he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He needs to go for it. 57 freaking Cavalier, man. 59 total. Damn. A lot of units queued up as well. Meanwhile, MbL's gonna be on 200 population very soon himself as well, but he's gone for so many villagers. He's got only 23 Janissaries. Another castle on the way for Sitaux on the right hand side. Yeah, MbL's going full defense. My lord, take a look at all the bombard towers. The Janissaries. This kind of looks like a scenario map. Not gonna lie, doesn't it? MbL is just providing a practice level for Sitaux to play on. Yeah, and eventually Sitaux's going to take the bombard towers down. Well, the blue player can just try and starve MbL. What is the red player going to do after he runs out of gold? How many golds does he have? I think he's got 2 tiles only. And you take a look at this economy for MbL. What is this? He's got this gold. He runs out of it. And he's out of gold. Full stop. This one he does not have access to. Of course, does not have control of. Meanwhile, this one, the neutral one, is going to be under control of Sitaux. This one is going to still be plentiful for Sitaux. He's collecting from this one as well. So there is no rush over here. Sitau's just gonna want to play for good snipes. Good snipes against the trebuchets. Doesn't matter, I think. Sitaux can just play for the late game. Well, this guy's coming up over here, of course. He's going to protect this one. Now, let's see though. Sitau's trying to cut through. This could be really good. This could be really, really good. Hey, check this out. We have Elite Obuch on the way for Mr. Sitaux. He's got Scale Mill Armor. Siege Engineers Guilds coming in as well. Still too many villages for MbL. Doesn't really have too much in terms of defenses. Only 8 extra population space to go for anything. And because of the Bombard Tower over here, I think MbL's got mostly vision on the right hand side, right? Yeah, he knows. This will likely last as long as that 5-hour game between MbL and Hera. You know, wouldn't be surprised. MbL doesn't seem to be keen on calling the GG over here anytime soon. However, notice that Sitaux is very systematic about the way he's pushing here. He's gonna try and take the Bombard Tower down first. This one's got 13 range, actually, so he cannot really target the Bombard Tower. Yeah, because that's going to target the Bombard Cannons as well. I mean, he can try to. The projectiles are very slow over here, so you can just try and micro. You can micro the Bombard Cannons, you can micro the Bombard Tower. But in the end, though, we see the Bombard Cannons coming back over here from MbL on the right-hand side. It's gonna defend himself. Yeah, and Sitaux kind of gives up on this. If he was able to take the Bombard Tower down, then he would have been able to come in over here unspotted, but not like this. He's going on the left-hand side instead. And check this out, check this out. Let's take a look at MbL's point of view. He will know about this. He's going for another Bombard Tower. Oh, man. And just in time as well, because Sitaux was getting here already. And check this out, MbL finishes building this. And well, yeah, now Sitaux knows that MbL knows. And the Anja goes down right away. This is going to be a 5-hour long game. But yeah, it's going to go as long as MbL can get access to gold. He's got only 140 left over here, meanwhile Sitaux. Well, Sitaux shouldn't ever let MbL get access to this one. There's a lot of Bombard Cannons over here though on the right hand side. MbL is taking the castle down and it's not even close. There we are. Those are on the right hand side, taking on the Janissaries. We'll go down to the Bombard Towers in the end. Yeah, and MbL's trying to get control of the gold over here by going for extra Bombard Towers. What is the plan long term for MbL though? That's what I don't get. Sitau's Hussar are going to be stronger. We get 1 extra Pierce armor for MbL's. But Sitau's are going to be Winged Hussar. With Lahiri Legacy, they're going to be stronger. He's the only player with actual trash as well, while MbL's only going to have access to Hussar. So I don't really get it though. What is MbL playing towards? Camels? Yeah, well, right now, yes. We have camels coming out for MbL, that is good, but once the gold runs out, if it doesn't work out for MbL within the next 10 minutes, I don't see how it's gonna be able to come back. Or to secure this one in any case. There we go. Here comes Sitaux with the Bombard Cannons over there trying to take that towers down. He's gonna be able to do it for the most part. We even have a monk over there, but now MbL is going right after the Bombard Cannons. And Sitaux still going after the Bombard Towers, but he gets completely cleaned up. The camels from MbL are coming out on top, going after the trebuchets right now. Yeah, and the bombard towers over here, they're just too strong. You cannot ignore these. Still over there for a moment was kind of just tanking damage, and that is not the way to go about it. There we go. Yeah, and it's just full on Wing Nazar over here coming out from Sitaux. Siege Rams definitely the way to go against these. You're just going to need something else to protect the siege with.
Offset.
Towers on the way now for MbL. My lord, man. What a game. Sitaux is on 100 military population. And he's struggling big time. He's got the Obuk. He's got Elite Obuk. These are fully upgraded. We have siege rams over here, but only 2. Yeah, and MbL. MbL has gone through the vast majority of his gold reserves. So right now he's got 10 gold miners, yes. It's got only 600 gold. And this is eventually going to run out. Meanwhile, Sitaux still collecting from here. Right. Run out of the gold inside the walls. So let's see. I mean, what is this game though? MbL has just built a scenario for Sitaux to practice on. Alright. Sitaux is being patient over here. I'm not exactly sure what it is that he's waiting for though. MbL is not going to struggle for much of anything so long as he's got access to gold over here and he's still on 200 population, so Sitaux gotta go for something. Yeah, this gold actually is going down really quickly. Only about 2,000 left over there, so it's gonna be on 3,000, then that's going to be about it. And Sitaux doesn't really have any gold right now. Just going to be banking on the Hussar. Here come the Hussar coming in from MbL though. Sitau's gotta get the balls up. He's not doing it on time. And this can be really, really good for MbL. He'll be able to get a lot of damage over here. There's only 1 castle. And about 2 DCs over here on the back of Sitau's economy. So if he's going to remain open, MbL is going to be able to start putting some pressure. Meanwhile, there is no way for Sitaux to come forward and try to get anywhere near as much damage over here. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. What is this? Sitaux is just running into the meat grinder. Take a look at this HP pool going down extremely quickly for Sitaux. And yeah, the moment the Rams go down over there, the meat shield runs out and Sitau's going to get cleaned up over here. MbL ended up losing a bunch of units himself, but he had the majority of his army up in the north putting pressure. And he's managed to get a bunch of villages down actually. The red player that is. Yeah. And as expected, Sitaux doesn't like getting cleaned up. He lost about 20 villagers. He was on 99 before the raid. Probably a little bit more because he's been going for villagers. Well, this actually opens up more space for Sitaux to go for more military, right? The problem though is that if he wants to match MbL for Hussar production, he's going to need a lot more farmers than this. Only 27, meanwhile MbL's got 96 scouts. Queued up Hussar. And it seems like he's just going to overpower Sitaux over here. Is 100 plus the starting queued up? You would expect that to be the case. We have 22 stables queued up for MbL, by the way. And Sitaux, on the other hand, still just struggling. Can't even get to 50 farmers over here. There's no way he'll be able to keep on going for more Winged Hussar. And taking the engagements over here underneath the towers from MbL is definitely not the way to go either. If you're in Sitaux's position, so it seems like MbL is going to end up taking this one, or at the very least, he's looking very strong. Just out of Sitaux. Running out of resource over here. Just throwing so many units into the grinder. Take a look at that KD. Almost 100 extra units. Sitaux ended up losing this game. And that's vast majority because of the towers, of course. There we go. Now the population is looking better for MbL. It's gonna be locked in 200 population, while Sitaux is going to just call the GG, as he was going to drop under 100 population in a moment. That was a really well played game from MbL, and I was doubting him, especially towards the end of the game for sure, but this actually ended up working out pretty nicely for him. Between the extra layers of walls and the bombard towers over here coming up, it kind of seemed as if MbL was memeing a little bit, but it was actually very effective. And Sitaux couldn't really do much of anything, so MbL does end up taking game number 3. Putting himself 1 point away from moving on to the second stage of the replacement qualifier, while Sitaux's in the back foot over here. He's gotta take games 4 and 5 if he wants to have a chance of making it into the main event. Very good KD for MbL. In the end, it's going to be better than 4-3. For economy, a stronger economy for MbL, collecting about 23,000 extra resources. And we noticed that Sitaux didn't really have quite as many villagers compared to MbL for the majority of the game, right? It didn't seem to matter because his military was stronger, but he failed to go for an army composition that would allow him to take the bombard towers down. As MbL is in control, the bombard cannons he had, the bombard towers, the Janissaries, everything that MbL went for, the camels, he made use of masterfully as well, so that's going to be a game going in favor of MbL. And there we are. Welcome everyone then to game number 4. This is match point already. The predictions are open for this one. For the next 5 minutes, you'll be able to make your predictions on who you think is going to win. With option number 1 being Sitaux and option number 2 being MbL, you can use your channel points. And then for the civilizations, let's talk about it. Sitaux playing with Huns. Will begin with less wood compared to other civilizations, but he does not need to build houses whatsoever. He already begins in 200 population. We have for Huns 10 and 20% cheaper cavalry archer type units in the castle and imperial ages. As well as 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%. And for the team bonus, Sitaux's gonna have with Huns 20% faster working stables. What else? MbL playing with Magyars will get instead a 15% discount on Scoutland unit production. He gets free blacksmith attack upgrades for melee units. That's going to be free forging, free iron casting, and free blast furnace. On top of that, Magyars get villagers who can kill predators with 1 strike. So if the villagers ever run around and run into a tiger, for instance. I'm not sure we have any on this map. It seems like we don't have any predators. Oh, we do. A few. Jaguars, actually. Okay, yeah, they'll be able to take them down with 1 strike. For the team bonus, Magyars will also get 2 extra line of sight on foot archer units. So let's go and take a look at the map generation for each player. Starting with Mr. Sitaux. We'll see how the bull player, he's got the main gold. The right hand side. Secondary goals are going to be very far away from the TC. One on the right hand side over here, and then another one is on the left hand side towards the north. He's got a stone kind of forward over here though, so between the stone and the gold, as well as the wood over here, if he went for a single tower over here, he would, oops, that is not the correct color. if he went for a single tower over here, he will be able to protect the gold, the stone, and the wood line. So that'd be good. Meanwhile, taking a look at the map generation for MbL instead. We'll see that the red player, he's got the gold up in the north, the main one, so it's on the back, that's good. Secondary goal is going to be on the left hand side. Taking a look at the right hand side, we're going to have the secondary goal over here as well. So these are somewhat exposed, and this goal being forward is actually very good. Because very similarly to what we saw for Sitaux, if MbL is to go for, if MbL is to go for a tower over here, should be able to defend the wood line as well as a gold. For the rest, then we have a stone over here on the back, on the left hand side as well for MbL. And I would say the map generation, I'm probably liking it a little bit better, mainly because of MbL's having a few extra resources on the back. Plus, he is a little bit closer to the center, and he's got a lot of wood over here to work with. Meanwhile, you take a look at Sitaux, and Sitaux, not so much. The wood he's got in front is going to be fairly small, and there are 2 additional wood lines over here as well, but they are not connected. So it's not quite as nice. If he got pushed away from here, for instance, by a tower on the other side of the wood line, then he would have to go for another lumber camp over here, far away. While if we saw a tower come up over here from the blue player, for instance, behind the wood line, around this area, then the red player can just go for extra wood over here, right, on the side, and he would still be able to collect from it. And he wouldn't need to go necessarily for another lumber camp right away. Interesting to see both these lumber camps come up so close to each other, though. Let's see if Sitaux knows about it. He does. He does, and he's sending the villagers over because of course he is. Well, MbL is getting to the field H. And he's got a spearman over here just trying to keep an eye behind the wood because he knows exactly what's coming up. See the villagers? Yes, sir. He sees the villagers coming up right now. Let's take a look at MbL's reaction over here. Oh! The stream title is not updated. RIP. My bad. Should be good now. Let me know. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah. This tower is getting completely denied by MbL. Well played. The villagers are still here though from Sitaux, so you could try still to make a play for it. For instance, you take a look at the range of the tower from MbL, and Sitaux could potentially still go for one over here a little bit further to the left. And he will still be able to stay beyond the range of MbL's tower, defensive tower, and he will still be able to push MbL away from the wood line. However, though, so far, MbL is going to be the one getting the better trades over here for economy. And overall KD is better for MbL as well, but eco KD is 2-1. So long as he keeps his DC running at all times, he should be able to find himself one worker ahead compared to Sitaux. And for the time being, he is. Here we are. Fantastic. And the game has stabilized. However, MbL is looking a little bit stronger currently. Interestingly enough, though, he opened with an archer range, so he's going for skirmishers. Sitaux is going for skirmishers himself over here as well. When the blue players got the team bonus for 20% faster working stables, and MbL's got the one extra attack for free on the scouts, you'd be expecting both these guys to be going for scouts, but in the end, it's not going to be the case.
Szolgálatára. Igen. Parancs.
Here comes Mr. MbL. Trying to put some pressure. Meanwhile, Sitaux is trying to go for the counter push on the left-hand side, so they are going the opposite direction.
Parancs.
Do we have any weak villages over here? I mean, sort of. This one seems to be like it. This one seems to be somewhat weak.
Szolgálatára.
Yeah, but he's going right after the foragers instead. It's unlikely he'll get a village down, but just pushing the villages away from the resources is actually very good for MbL still. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, MbL was going for the walls over here anyway. He realizes about the units coming in from Sitaux. Cannot get this up on time though, can he? He's gonna try, and he manages to, well done. MbL gets the walls up over here, prevents Sitaux from sneaking in. Meanwhile, in the back, MbL is going to be the one still putting pressure. Now it's going straight into the wall line. We have the defensive tower over here for Sitaux, mind you.
Igen. Szolgálatára. Parancs.
There we go. And the game is going to stabilize over here. Finally a stable on the way for MbL. Yes, and Sitaux. Sitaux's been going for scouts. So he's got some stable as well, of course.
Igen.
Yeah, and MbL's got to be careful over here, but he's got the spearman back home, so he's fine. So the situation kind of stabilizes for the most part, and we'll see both players try to make a play for the castle age. However, MbL, in going for the stable at this point in time, seems to want to stick to the fuel age a little bit longer. As obviously going for scouts is going to delay him from going up to the castle age. There we go. Beautiful. Very good defense for Sitaux. He seems to be getting closer to going after the castle age compared to MbL. Well, the red player, on the other hand, despite the fact that he's got the one extra worker over here compared to the bull player, has been struggling big time to keep up with the economy. And this is because of the scout production. If it weren't because of the stable, MbL would probably be significantly closer to going after the castle age himself as well. So that's just remarkable from Sitaux, the fact that he's got scouts over here in addition to the same worker count over here. Now he's actually getting ahead compared to MbL because of wheelbarrow, and he will still be able to go up to the castle age. So let's take a look. Big engagement coming up now in MbL. He's going after Sitaux's defensive units, and Sitaux, he's got the resources to click up to the castle age, and he's had the resources for a while. I don't know if he didn't realize he hadn't clicked up yet. Might have been the case, as we saw in one of the earlier series. Yeah, and there we go. Sitaux is on his way to the castle age, but he's so far behind in military though. In MbL, he's got the scouts still. He's got the spearmen. He's pushing Sitaux away from the resources. The gold over here is no longer accessible. It's not like he was collecting from it anyway, but still. Won't be able to go for it, and yeah, the scouts and the skirmishers still roaming around. Could potentially get a villager or two down over here. Castle age is on the way for MbL as well. Made use of the market a little bit. Not too heavily, mind you. Yeah, and it seems like the game is going to stabilize, while MbL is still looking stronger for military count by a lot. The delta to the castle age is going to be of a minute in 1 second though, favoring Sitaux.
Szolgálatára. Igen. Szolgálatára.
Beautiful. So far, Sitau's been able to survive over here just fine. He's gotten about 13 extra seconds vital TC time, which is not too much. And now that he's gotten to the castle age, he's got double stable. We're gonna see the knights coming out, should be able to take care of the majority of the units from MbL, of course, with the red player being only on scouts. Skirmishers. He's gonna need to bail, and there we go, the knights are coming out. And MbL is bailing. He's going for more scouts still though. Once he gets to the castle age, because of iron casting, if he goes for the light cavalry upgrade, MbL is still going to have a very, very threatening army to work with. There we are. University, the town center rather, is coming up for Mr. Sitaux. And MbL is going to get a village down over here. It's not gone for the light cavalry upgrade anyway, still. But may not need to. Now we have a good amount of scouts roaming around and just disrupting Sitau's economy overall. But the knight's coming out and we have triple stable for MbL. Interesting to see him go for the second TC if he's gonna ever hope to go for a triple stable knight production over here, but yeah, very interesting to see for sure, especially against Sitaux, right? Sitaux gets 20% faster working stable, so if MbL was sticking to 2 and both players were going for double stable production, yes, Sitaux would come up on top. So it makes sense that MbL is trying to keep up like this. It's not something that he'll be able to produce from at all times. Of course, as a matter of fact, if he ever gets to produce more than, you know, from more than 2 stables, that's still going to be very, very good for MbL, but it's going to be very rare. It's not going to be the norm, not for the time being, not until he gets extra economy anyway. There we go. Perfect. And MbL starts to put a little bit more pressure. We see the conversions coming up over here. Sitau's defenses are going to consist of monks for the most part. He's got some knights himself. With only double stable production over here, he shouldn't really be able to keep up with production against MbL on paper, that is. And this is what I'm very curious about. Why MbL was skewing 5 knights from only 2 stables, I will never know, but he's going for extra now from the 3rd stable. And MbL is getting a hidden military count. He is under a lot of pressure over here from Sitaux though, so he does end up losing a few villages. In the end, the EQKD is going to be 1-1 for both these guys with 9 villager kills and 9 villager losses. 30C on the way for MbL and the 30C on the way for Sitaux. It seems like they are just going to continue extremely even for worker count. Nice snipe over there for MbL as well. As long as MbL is actually able to keep production going from more than 2 stables at a time, he's going to be in a better position. So far, he's managed to. He's got the extra military units compared to Sitaux, and if you amount for the army value, that is the gold cost of the army of both these players, MbL completely trumps Sitaux. Only 5 knights over here for Sitaux. We have 50 knights for MbL, and he's getting to the TC. The TC is going to come up anyway. MbL cannot do anything over there. He's got to be careful. Bunch of knights on the left-hand side. Needs to send forward. So far, so good. So far, so good for Mr. MB. And if you are rooting for Sitaux, you certainly do not like to see the military distribution that we have over here. About 4 times the military count for MbL compared to Sitaux. Here we go. And MbL's reaction over here is really good. The unit control overall is really good for the red player. More conversions on the way. Not going to happen though. Sitaux trying to make a play for Pikeman over here. He's already fallen behind in Knights by quite a lot. And the Pikeman over here, they are not enough. MbL's taking the units down now. It's going to be 27-4. Military count favoring the Norwegian player. As he's coming in, starting to swarm the base of Sitaux with Knights. MbL still needs to get chain, bard, and armor for these Knights to be effectively fully upgraded in the FLH. It's got Bloodlines and Iron Casting, but without chain, bard, and armor, they won't be anywhere near as resilient against DC fire as they could be. Sitaux got a very small amount of Knights still left, but he's trying to put pressure, and MbL doesn't seem to be paying too much attention over here. Beautiful. Yeah, now MbL realizes about it. Still has the raids going on the other side of the map though, and Sitaux struggling to keep up a lot more. Take a look at the population overall. Sitaux crumbling over here, losing so many villages. Realizes about this after taking a lot of losses, and he cannot even garrison everyone in the TCs anyway. And even without chain bar and armor, MbL's gonna manage to clutch it up and take game number 4 to move on to the second stage of the replacement qualifier over here, while knocking Sitaux out of it. And that's going to be a final score of 3-1. MbL gets this one. Well played. Better KD for MbL by a lot. Getting very, very close to 3-2. Gonna have for economy, stronger economy for MbL as well. Yeah, by about 4,000 extra resources or so. For society, we also have a stronger society count over here for MbL towards the end of the game. Both players have the same villager max count. Both players produce the exact same amount of villages, which is pretty interesting given the length of the game, right? But in the end, MbL was the one to take the fewest losses with 17 villages going down. Meanwhile, Sitaux on the other hand ended up losing about 33. So well done.